Good morning, everybody. It is a sunny day here in Melbourne. I'm joined here by Kristy from SGN and Kat here from uTenent, and I'm just so glad that we are celebrating International Women's Day today. So I'm a partner at SGN, I'm a marketing manager, and the purpose of today's session, we're going to talk about International Women's Day. We celebrate women for their contribution in our political, cultural, and socioeconomic achievements of women. So specifically today, we're going to talk about the challenges and the leadership within the women's space in logistics and supply chain industry. So as I've said, we're joined by Kristy and Kat. And hey, guys, just as we begin, I want to just open up the question to both of you guys, starting with Kristy. If you could, you guys just give us a background about your experience, your name, your title, your company, how long you've been in your role for, and yeah, how it's been like, being a full-time business leader, a businesswoman, and also being a mom at the same time.
Thank you, Mil. First of all, thanks for having us. As everybody knows, I'm Kristy. I've been in this industry for 18 years now, and I've been working in different companies before, but recently I'm having my own company, which you can see on the background, Signature Global Network, which is a global network that combines lots of great companies and people in logistic industry. Obviously there's also e-commerce and supply chain. Yeah, so that's me. Maybe Kat, you can introduce yourself before we answer the questions.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Katharina or Kat Attana. I've been working for nearly 20 years in the supply chain industry. I've probably worked part-time since I was 14, went through uni, and yeah, I've been working overseas as well in Europe, spent some time in Cuba, in the US, in Asia, and I've been a mum and stepmom for the last 15 years, and I have 3 boys to balance with my full-time work.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
very good.
4 boys. That's awesome. And I know, Kristy, you have what, three girls?
Two girls.
Three
I
girls,
wish
yeah.
it's 3.
And wow, well traveled as well, Kat. You guys have been around the world. And I know for you, Kristy, you've been in the industry for about 16, 18 years.
No, 18 years. I've been
18 years.
traveling lots of countries before. Yeah, it was great experience. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, just so you guys have a wealth of knowledge and experience here, and I want to dive into our first question. I read recently in the Women in Supply Chain organization that the logistics industry is probably dominated by men in terms of the numbers in contrast to women. And I think they can come with this challenge at the same time. The diversity is quite lacking. And my question is, I want to start with you, Kristy, is that what are the challenges that women face in the supply chain and logistics industry, given this fact?
Thank you. Point me first. I think it's as like first of all, I really respect both men and women. I think they both are great, and they're good at what they're doing. But you're right. I think the balance isn't really as what it's supposed to be. So I think the most challenge I think is life balance for the women. I think women as multiple family roles to act instead of just a businesswoman, while men usually will just be a businessman, a father and husband, that's all. But we can be, mom and, a doctor, whatever it is, lots of roles that we need to carry. Yeah, I think that's probably one thing. I think it's really hard to maintain the life balance while you have to also focus on the work. And in the meantime, the second challenge, I think, well, we can deep dive that later, but and the second thing I think it's definitely the women's very easy to be tagged by people around them. Well, I think everybody feels that as well. There are too many tags on female when it gets in business due to the history, I would say a long time ago. They're facing much more judgment and tags from people than ever, which cause many self-doubt, which is also one of the reasons that they have less opportunities in the leadership world, like you said, dominated by men in general. So that's my opinion. How about you, Kat?
Yeah, I guess from my personal experience, there's certainly a glass ceiling, and I don't believe that there's necessarily a desire by men to be leading that industry. I think there is a real big gray area of an unconscious bias where there's a lot of male leaders, predominantly historically from that supply chain industry, which is quite male dominated, where people don't even realize that they're not creating the right structures and support for women to really grow into leadership roles. And then you're absolutely right, Kristy, that work-life balance makes it difficult for women to, go out after work, have these drinks with mates and build those network opportunities and those relationships that are absolutely crucial to climb up the corporate ladder. So it's it's quite an interesting situation at the moment.
That's really good. I think you guys touched on really good points there, Kristy, especially with the work and home balance, as a woman, and playing as a business leader or a manager in that function, and then coming home becoming a homemaker, whereas perhaps a male can perhaps just wear a leadership hat all the time. And I think, Kat, you really highlighted on the unconscious bias that we have this sort of structure, a dominant structure that's been set in the culture, and sometimes navigating that can be complex. Which leads me to my next question. Given those facts that you guys stated, what do you think? How can women bring value and grow in their potential in an industry dominated by men?
Kat, you want to go? Hello, Kat.
I think we might have had a glitch here in a moment.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, you're back.
You're back.
Keep going.
Sorry. Yes, I guess how can we bring value? What is really important is that we stay authentic and true to ourselves, that we tap into our strengths, and that we really support each other. That we bring values like empathy and leading with empathy to the table, and that we just bring this different aspect, because in my experience, diverse teams with different strengths bring different ideas, creativity, and solutions. And these are really key to solving the problems that we're facing in the future. And if we can tap into our own authentic potential, that will really give us that edge to make a difference in the business. And that to me is probably our biggest opportunity.
Yeah, just a little bit from my side. I think I believe whatever men could, women can as well. It's just about the different personalities, as everyone has different gifts despite of gender. In general, I think women's strength is better on handling multitasks and tasks required with more communications, because women are more sensitive, better on handling caring, more about how people feel. But men probably are more straightforward. Nowadays, people care about how they feel. So I think we really need more women to be in the industry to move it in a nicer shape. This can be, any roles in HR or administration or customer service or even sales. Any areas involved with creativities as well, such as sales, marketing, products as well. Women actually potentially bring refreshing ideas and solutions that, rather than just one team of a bunch of whole men. So I think you're right. I agree. Men and women should work really closely together. But then we need to really look at the good things that women potentially can bring to focus on that part and solve that problem. And I think it will be definitely surprising with the results. Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Not that this is an umbrella statement, or not that every man is like this, but often the culture within a space dominated by men, it can be just a go structure based. Let's get things done, outcome based, perspective. And I think, like you said, Kat, that women really bring an empathetic culture, just authenticity, and give sort of the, as you said, Kristy, the word sensitivity, right? That brings a careness, a kindness throughout the atmosphere and the work process as well, which also, affects the work environment. So with that being said, which leads me to my third question, given these facts, how can, and I'm gonna go with you, Kat, how can the leaders in the industry cater to this gap that needs improvement?
Yeah, so there's certainly specialist firms out there who can help and go into an organization and work with the
we've had a cut again.
Yeah, some issue again. Just give it a sec.
We'll give it a moment. I'm sure she'll be back in a moment again.
there
we go. You're back again. You're back.
Yeah.
We just lost you for a few seconds. Kat, can you please repeat?
Yeah, sure. So there's definitely firms out there that are specialized in working with HR departments and leadership teams to come up with solutions. There's government initiatives to support SME businesses who may not have those HR resources. And I guess to me it really starts with the leadership team. To me, that's something that really has to be a cultural decision that needs to be driven from the senior leadership team, and it starts with really addressing this unconscious bias, and not just thinking this is a KPI to tick, but this is really a culture that we want to create within our businesses of diversity and inclusion, and that to me is really key. Now, I don't necessarily believe in quotas, and I think there is probably a preference what jobs some women like to do over others. But what is really important to me is that we give all people the opportunity to reach their full potential if they wish to do so. And this is really what both government and businesses should be supporting women on. And just ask us.
That's awesome. Do you have any notes on that, Kristy?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with what Kat was saying. It's really to give fair opportunities to female for various positions, and instead of looking at gender, looking at the personality first. And bring more female leaders to the board of management. Bring balanced genders and various types of age groups, which can actually bring more broad and fair ideas on decisions. So that's my idea. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I'm going to ask this question, which I think will bring a full circle to our conversation here, right? So you both have been quite successful in your role, and you've been in it for a long time. So you guys have a depth of insight to share. So what has been the guiding light, the value or principle that has led you to this point of success in your point in life, in your business, in your career, that you can share to inspire others and encourage other women out there who are listening?
Kat, you go first.
All right. Well, maybe I answer this a little bit, longer. So I guess I've been very, very fortunate that I was able to build up a resilience. So basically, I got a key around my neck since the summer before I started primary school. So that meant I was completely independent, walking myself to school, and I also meant I had to solve all my problems from early on. My parents were very young, and they were at university at that point. So I was able to build up resilience, and then I spent time in some countries. I lived 6 months in student dorms in Cuba, and traveled Cambodia and India and some other places that are it's quite some challenges to see. So I guess that resilience that I've built up over time, that really, really helped me, I believe, in my career to get to where I was. But to me, what is key is really balancing my true self and really working on myself, getting feedback from others on what I can do better. That is really, really key. And listening to that feedback and not taking it, the wrong way, but appreciating it as a golden nugget. So that self-development, lifelong learning, resilience, and authenticity and empathy are to me the key attributes that helped me to achieve where I am today. And it is still a journey, so I there's no end. It's a ongoing development.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, to me, I think I've done that speech another day, Kat, as you're aware, in the women's event. I think I don't want to repeat the story, but to me, I can make it very short about the tips, which is definitely the life balance. I think it's really important as a woman. If you don't know how to manage your time and your life balance, you will lose, everything will be shaking. So I think the next thing what I want to say to everyone, every woman especially, is believe in what you can become. Do not believe how people want to judge you to be. dream big and be brave, because your achievement says louder than an argument. I think the thing what I'm saying it is because I believe everyone can share tons of stories about how you are facing the challenges and people, some negative feedback or anything that push you back. But it is about how we are going to respond and how we are going to, take action. But the action is not about fighting them back or arguing them back. Instead, we need to put that energy and passion into what we should be focusing on. I guess that's my key to reach to who I am today. Because to be honest, we always love people, like especially me, I love people. So sometimes it's hard when people defend, say something really offensive. How are you going to not be offensive? You know what I mean? So that's a lot of lessons I've learned across the journey. When someone says something really bad, how I'm going to respond, how I'm going to think in my way rather than feeling into a sad feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's probably my just believe who you can become, not to believe what others are saying about you. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So for those of you who are listening out there, let me summarize that real quick. Resilience, to push through, to solve your problems, true to self, working and believing in yourself, growing, self-development, always learning. As Kristy said, life balance, right? When you're so occupied with work, you don't ever forget about yourself. Having a true self-awareness that work and life is to be balanced. Believe in yourself. And I love what you said, Kristy. This can be a caption for Instagram. I might even use this. Your achievement is louder than an argument. That is powerful. Guys, that has been wonderful. That has been very insightful. Would there be anything else you want to say and mention to our listeners out there as we come to a wrap of our session regarding the high pace, high volume, loud industry of logistics and supply chain for other women out there?
Well, I guess in light of the current global situation, the pandemic, the earthquakes and volcanoes and floods and everything that's going on, and obviously most recently that war in Ukraine, where in my hometown, I think they're preparing currently for 30,000 people or refugees to, be accepted in a small city.
Hello, Kat.
You only have one life, and make the most of it and set your priorities right, because at work you're always replaceable, at home you're not.
That is, wow, that is powerful.
It's awesome. For me, I think for the women outside there, first of all, as I said, I'm more proud to be actually a mom and a wife, and because life is not just about working. Working is important because trust me, I love working. I do put a lot of time on there. But as Kat just mentioned as well, life is short. We need to really know our priorities. So I really want everyone to, spend some time every day with yourself to just to listen to yourself and know what you want, what is more important in your life. And then we're not going to lose that precious moments around you with your family or your friends or anyone who's really important. Yeah. So that's my conclusion. And happy International Women's Day.
That's right. Happy International Women's Day. That is the end of our session. And I'm just going to echo what these wonderful ladies have said. So as Kristy said, your achievement is louder than an argument. And as Kat has said, that you're replaceable at work, but at home you are not. So let us always remember what truly matters. And to all the women out there who's listening, happy International Women's Day. Thank you both for this session. Thank you for your time. And that is the end of it for today.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.